Good morning, everyone. Jay, you need to get out. You kind of taken over the screen there. Good morning, everyone. If you can just log in and mute your microphone. Can you guys hear me okay? Perfect. Perfect. We'll get started here in another minute. Just want to give everybody a chance to log in, just so I can see who's all here. This will not be a long meeting. It'll be as long as you guys need it to be. John Kokorin, I'm not sure. Is your microphone muted? Somebody's is not. It looks like it might be yours. You want to mute your microphone, guys, if you're not muted already. All right, we're going to get started, and just to start out a couple things. Yep, big 20% today. So you want to be sure to contact parents if you're not getting a hold of students. They will be able to work on that, and you grade that tomorrow, and they'll be dropped on Wednesday. You probably saw that there. Besides that, it's really just open for questions for you guys. I think Dan's in here too, so he's here to help us. I do know that there's probably 4 of us in our group that still need to join Slack, so if you haven't done that, you need to make sure that's a requirement. You need to get in there, 4 or 5 of us. Even if you don't use it all the time, logging into that once a day. That's what I try and do, is log in once a day. The best way for you to still reach me is through a personal text, but I do try and check Slack 1 to 3 times a day. I think yesterday, though, it might have been at the end of the day that I checked it. So what questions do you guys have? All right. I like that. That is good. That's good to hear. Oh, the results for number 2 had a short answer question. I haven't done 3. Did it have a short answer question? Because I know Rhonda has to grade those. Yes, 2.11 and 2.12 are already set for 2 attempts. I didn't really plan on them needing a 3rd attempt. Were you hoping for a 3rd attempt? Well, what you can do is you one-on-one can delete one of their submissions, and that will allow them to try that a 3rd time. If you don't know how to do that, I'm sure you do, but if you don't, we'll do it over the phone. It's really easy. You're just going to check the box in front of their attempt, and then go up to the trash can, click that, and it will delete that attempt and allow them another one. I think Unit 2 is probably the toughest one. I always say once we get through the 20% and Unit 2, the grading is so much easier. So I know there's a lot of work up front to help them understand that, but that is one of those things that, you know, it's so important for them to know as they continue to exercise the rest of their life. Can we change the verbiage in the BMI question? A lot of kids are putting their BMI but not explaining what it means. Well, go ahead and put that in the suggested changes in the instructor folder. Absolutely. How you think a better wording. Absolutely. I think it's great when all of our eyes get on there. I even did that for one of the questions already. So that would be great. But we can't change it during the course, but definitely can put that on suggested changes. Well, you're looking for good tips. You know, those are just tough things. Those are time-consuming things to grade. I mean, I'm looking for them to come up with, if it's an exercise or if it's motivation, I'm looking for them to give some good, genuine explanation of those two things. When it's the exercise, they definitely have to list the exercise and the component of fitness. So those are two things that make the 5 points. And then you're looking for them to respond to another student's post with genuine effort, and that's another 5 points. Beyond that, I don't know if that's what you were asking, or I'm not sure. Is that what you mean? I know the process for that can be a little cumbersome. If they don't exercise the full 180 minutes, what do you take off? Also, what about putting only 2 days? What do you take off? So the 3 days, each of those days is worth 6 points. So half of the 36 is 18 points. So if they didn't put 1 day, they lost 6 points there. If they didn't meet the full 180 minutes, that's another of the 18 points. So that would be 6 points for each hour. And it's that's kind of how I did that, if that makes sense. It's a new way that we're doing it this year, and so far I like it. If you guys have other suggestions, definitely put those in the suggestion changes, because I think our course only gets better when all of us contribute to that. Yes, the grading rubric for that is in the instructor folder. Thanks. Awesome. Kind of crazy to think. I was talking to Dan earlier, like, you know, we have 3.5 weeks left, or we're really clicking along here. Our next meeting will be July 11th, the Wednesday before the week of final exam. So, I think that's great. Dan was going to be in here. I see him. He's here.
I'm here. So remote proctoring becomes an option for students once the reservation system opens. So they actually do not see it so it's something new this year. They will not see remote proctor. No kids will actually see it as an option. They do see it in the course. So like how to sign up for the final exam, that shows up for them. They'll see it there. What they have to do is exactly what they're doing, which is submitting a ticket or calling our office to get the information. Basically, we provide them the link and all the information so that they can do that. So, yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So if you get any,
and how much does it cost again?
yeah, so it's $20. $20.
Okay.
You know, it doesn't take them long to do a PE test, or a lot of kids that do PE and health. But it's still, if they're not in the country, they can't find someone to proctor, or they're out of the state and they can't find someone to proctor, it's a good option for them. They just have to have a computer, Wi-Fi or internet, and microphone and camera. So if they have a laptop, it typically will work for them.
Okay.
The only issues we've had are China is an issue for anything that we do in the courses, just because of how they lock down their internet. Sometimes India is an issue. Just depends on which part of like India or Pakistan, if they're in Pakistan, where they're at and how good the internet is, or if it's locked down.
Right.
But we work through those individually with students if they need help.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Megan just put in a question about putting feedback for grading. Megan, when you're in the attempt, like when you're grading it, go back to the top, and in the drop-down box, you'll see like attempt, and then you'll see completion. Drop down to completion and put the feedback there, and then when they see their grade in their grades tab, then they'll see your feedback there. That's the fastest way to do that. And then Jason's saying, I may have missed it. What's the most that we should take off on an extras log if it's late or incomplete? 5 points per week. If it's incomplete, like they didn't do it at all, I would contact them. If they don't do it, then I guess it's a 0. Is it 2 per day or 5 points per week? So week 1, no matter if it's entered during week 2, it loses 5 points. If it's week 1 and it's entered during week 3, they lose 10 points. After grading, press save and go to the top. Yes, where it states, yes, thank you, Lori. You got to press save first, and it'll keep you in there, and then you go in and put completion. So only 5 per week. If you use that grading rubric, you'll see all that in there. Susie, did Dan's response help? Do you get what he was saying? Yeah, that was last year. That's all right, though. You can square those up. Well, this is all good stuff. If you don't have any other questions, you are welcome to sign out and have a wonderful day. If you have some, stick around. I'll keep this open until 10:20. So it's good to go. thank you guys that could attend, and those that couldn't, I'll be sending out a recording. So if anybody asks you about that, I will be able to send that out to you maybe in the morning tomorrow, maybe later today. You're welcome, and thanks all of you for your questions and your help. Appreciate everything. Well, if you go to June 6th announcement, there is the instructions for the students. You can copy and paste them from my announcement and email it to your students on how they can go back and see feedback on individual questions. Otherwise, put the feedback in that completion box that was mentioned earlier, that when you're grading the quiz, click save, not save and exit, but click save, and then go back to the top, do the drop-down box where it says attempt, and go to completion, put feedback there, and then when they see their grades, under the grades tab, they can see your feedback directly. That's where I put mine because it really helps them understand, especially on 211 and 212, I put it in the question and I put it in the completion box. If you put it in the completion box, it's kind of the easiest way. You're very welcome. I'm not sure why you can't open that, Susie. It might be something blocking on yours. I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe you and will kind of do some detective work. Maybe I'll give you a call. We'll try a couple of things. Not sure why you're not able to see that. Do you mean where can it be seen by the student or where can it be seen by you? The June 6th announcements is the question feedback where they can go in and go back and look at that. But you can give a broad feedback by them just going into their grades tab if you place the feedback in the completion box. I agree with you, Dan. Every PDF is so much easier. The Google Docs have been probably the one that's the biggest hassle. Hey. 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 Taylor, why don't you give me a call? I'm going to close the meeting out. Happy to help you with that. And thanks all of you guys for attending. Have an awesome day. Taylor, just give me a call right now. I'm available.